Good morning, Covington County. Welcome to Good News Covington County with Brother John and Cousin Tom and Cousin Jared. Got us plenty of news this day. It's a Wednesday, May 16th, 2018. And our first segment of the morning news is brought to you by the Roadrunner Car Wash, Andalusia's newest and finest car wash. Roadrunner Car Wash is located at the intersection of the Western Martin Luther King bypass and the Presswood Bridge Road. They're doing a soft opening right now, but the quality of their car wash and the detailed services just can't be beat. And the prices will get your attention. If you want your car to look its best for a little dough, go to Roadrunner Car Wash today. And we're going to start with this segment talking about local businesses. There's a lot of things happening out there. Andalusia's newest supermarket, Piggly Wiggly, an independently owned Piggly Wiggly, is busy stocking the shelves at their new location. They'll be open. They may be open this afternoon, but they've told us to tell you they will guarantee that they'll be open tomorrow, the 17th of May. They're at 1130 Dr. Martin Luther King Expressway here in Andalusia in the old Winn-Dixie building. Now, you got to think about it when you go there because they've taken the old Winn-Dixie sign down off the front of that building, and we've got a little bit of the footage of that we're going to put together for a little, what are we going to call that, a pigumentary about what's happening out at the Piggly Wiggly. The new oversized Piggly Wiggly sign is on its way. It'll take it a couple of weeks to get there, but as I said, they should be open. Coach and Tim and Mr. Robinson, who I understand is going to be the manager. We've already met those folks, and they're going to be great to do business with. They're not going to have everything open and functioning when you go in there tomorrow. There'll be a slow opening on their fish market. There'll be seafood, and there'll be a slow opening on their floral area. But they've got all the cakes and bakery stuff that you'd ever want. And I understand that the buffet will be if the same, if not gooder than it was. You'll go in there and you'll see a lot of old friends that you know. And their meat department, they claim, is still going to be the best in town. One of the things I was impressed about when we went by there yesterday was look at their selections. You'll be pleasantly surprised by the gourmet items that they have in stock. And they're adding inventory every day. The Piggly Wiggly opening Thursday for all your grocery needs. And then we have a story on a business in transition, transitioning from one business to two, transitioning from old ownership to new. Harold's Furniture is under new ownership, and a lot of things have changed. Go by the store on East 39th Street, just east of the United States Post Office, and the first thing you'll notice is the front of the building has changed. Harold's Furniture is now Harold's Home with a completely new look and a logo, and the logo's slick. The inside of the store has changed too, with new layouts and new lines throughout the building. Jeffrey Douglas is the new owner, and he's got a great crew with names and faces you're familiar with, helping their customers design and update their homes and offices with new furnishings and accessories. They've got the accessories you wouldn't believe. When you drive into the parking lot at Harold's Home, you'll notice something new. There's a red, white, and blue sign that says Flooring Store. That now fills much of the eastern third of the Harold's store, Harold's Home store. The floor store has a complete line of flooring for you to choose from, whether you want original oak and pine, or laminates, ceramic tiles, or carpet, or even throw rugs. Harold's Home and the floor store have literally got you covered. Now, this is going to be something that I'm reading directly from the Andalusia Star News. Second new car wash opens on bypass. This is something that Lacey Stinson wrote about. We've been over there quite a bit visiting with David Floyd, who's the owner of the Roadrunner Car Wash, which is located at the intersection of Martin Luther King and Presswood Bridge Road. He said the car wash has been open since Friday, and so far the business has been good. Floyd and his wife Deborah own two locations of the Roadrunner Express Car Wash, the Bruton location and the Andalusia location. We did a soft opening and the business has been good so far. But there's something a little different about this car wash. The main thing is our car wash with our best wash package is that we have attendants that actually vacuum and detail the inside of your car. All of that for $18. And I can testify to that. I went there Saturday and $18 they got in there, and they got the inside of my son's car. Well, that was a challenge. He's been at college, I'll just say that. Floyd said the idea is that he wants to offer his customers the best that they can get with their money. I'll quote him directly here, I'm trying to go back to the style of the old days where there was full service car washes. When you leave the car wash, it'll still look like it's been really clean. Floyd said that 3 or 4 attendants work per shift just on that. There's a lobby on the inside that has a vending machine, a TV, and other entertainment. It'll take you no more than 15 minutes for the attendants to clean out your car. And they have basic packages, a super package, a deluxe package, and the works, which is the best package and the only package that attendants clean the inside of the car. Floyd plans to have a grand opening within the next month or so. So we'll probably have a vintage car show, maybe have some free hot dogs, and also special pricing on car washes. He said, I'm really excited to be open. We've been working on this for quite some time, and we have some of the best equipment inside our car wash. Floyd said he's also excited to serve the people of Andalusia. This will be a great thing in a great area too. They've done a wonderful job in the facilities. They're absolutely beautiful. Folks, we're going to break now. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Good News Covington County, Wednesday edition here, the 16th day of May. Folks, if I'm stumbling around here, we've got some new equipment I'm trying to get acclimated to. And you know that story about teaching old dog new tricks? This old dog, I'm mentally deficient this morning. But this section of our local news is brought to you by the folks at Andalusia Tire. They're located at 850 West Bypass in Andalusia, Alabama. And if you've got a flat on anything from your kid's bicycle, or maybe it's your own bicycle, to that tailgater spreading furniture, spreading fertilizer, your best choice to get rolling in a hurry is Andalusia Tire Company. Call Jimbo, Todd, or Greg Caton at 334-222-3136 for your tire, brake, and chassis needs. Andalusia Tire can get you tires from about anybody that you would want tires from, and they'll do right. They'll do you right, and they'll do their work right the first time. In other local news, the city council met last night, and I guess the biggest thing that came out of it is that there'll be whoever the next group of council people and the mayor will get a raise. Now, it's against the Constitution of Alabama for an administration to give a raise to themselves. It has to be something that's voted for by the previous administration. You can't do like they do in Washington and vote yourself a raise in many cases. And I think that's a wise thing. Our city council and the mayor have not had a raise since 2008. And it looks like they probably won't get a raise until about 2020. Now, I'm going to read this article by Michelle Gerlach, who did a great job on it. The Andalusia City Council on Tuesday set salaries for the next administration, effective when members of that group take office in 2020. Mayor Earl Johnson said the salaries of the elected officials have not changed since 2008, and the new rate represents a 5% increase in pay. State law does not allow members of an administration to raise current salaries, but they can make changes for the administration that will follow them. Beginning in November of 2020, the mayor's salary will become $2,596 biweekly for a total of $67,500 a year. Council salaries will be $375 per biweekly pay period, or $9,750. Council members who earn the designation of Basic Certified Municipal Officer shall earn an additional $225 per month for a total of $2,700 annually. Council members may participate in group life and health policies, but they must reimburse the city or have the premiums deducted from their pay. The The council unanimously approved the changes on a motion from Councilman Terry Powell and a second from Councilwoman Hazel Griffin. In other business, the City Council approved a retail beer and wine license for Piggly Wiggly, which is set to open in the former location of Winn-Dixie. Manager Chance Robinson said told the council, "We'll have everything that Winn-Dixie had, and we'll have it when we open." They also approved the purchase of 2 Dodge Grand Caravan minivans from the state from their bid list for the Adult Activity Center. In a series of stories for the National Police Week, we did one yesterday about how the AMVETS Club in Oppen designated a number of police officials around here. And today we've got a second story, and it happens to be about one of the people that was nominated in Florida for the Police Officer of the Year. And that's Beth Johnson. Beth Johnson's an outstanding young lady. And according to everything that I can read about her, she's really just a great, great person. I'm going to read the article directly. It was written by Lacey Stinson. Beth Johnson never let adversity stop her, so it makes sense that she'd carry that over into police work. Johnson joined the Florida Police Department in November 2016. She says, "Growing up, I wanted to be a police officer. I have a list of people that I look up to that were in law enforcement, and that inspired me. I put in my application at the Florida Police Department, and I was hired. From there, Johnson was sent to the Police Academy in Selma, where she faced her first obstacle. I went there, and I ended up coming up into some physical issues, and I failed. But 3 months later, I went back, and I overcame it." Johnson says she loves what she does. She also said there's 2 sides of law enforcement. The community policing, where you talk to children and people in the community. And then there's the criminal side. That's where you're chasing down people and hopefully catch them. And I believe she loves both sides of that. Johnson says she plans to stay on the road. And when she's 21, she plans to apply to the Alabama State Troopers. "My goal is to become a police officer, so I made a second goal to become a state trooper." Johnson is the daughter of Glenn and Denise Johnson and a Strawn High School graduate. Now we're going to take a break here in just a minute, and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Good News Covington County with Brother John and Cousin Tom and Cousin Jared. We're just over here operating like a bunch of madmen this morning. We were going to have a special guest with us. Mr. Curtis Simpson was going to be in with us this morning to give us a final briefing on the great thing that's going to be happening with the Little Black Dress event here in Andalusia on Saturday night. What a great event. We'll have more details about that on Friday so that you can rehash that and get yourself ready for it. I guess the first thing that you want to get is a black dress, which kind of precludes the 3 of us unless I guess we got black kilts. And then I think they'd maybe make fun of us. Our next news is brought to you courtesy of the people at Darby's Medical Center Pharmacy, located across the street from the Andalusia Health Campus, and Darby's original Village Pharmacy location at 301A East 3 Knott Street. No matter which side of town you live on, Darby's is a pharmacy near you, with professional local pharmacists and prices competitive with any of the big chains. And I'll be honest with you, they're just the nicest people in the world to deal with. Darby's is your best choice for your pharmacy needs. Call Laura or any of the other pharmacists at 582-3784 if you need help at the South 3 Knott store, or call David and his highly qualified group of professionals at 222-8825 at the East 3 Knott Street store. Now, I don't normally do this, but I got a partner in crime. It's been my partner in crime for so long it hurts. And today is my partner in crime's birthday. Happy birthday, Uncle Bob Brooks. I hope you have a great day out there. I hope that that every package that you open has got $1 million in it. And if it does, you can send a little to me. And that you'll just have a great day all around. We think about him all the time. Bob's had a tough road. He's trying to work his way through it. Got a couple of articles about what's going on at libraries and in schools here in Covington County. One of them starts off, It's a summer reading program that's they're using at the Opp Public Library and the Andalusia Public Library. Emily Brooks of the Andalusia Public Library and Courtney Smart of the Opp Public Library have planned a jamming set list to get kids ready to read this summer. This from an article in the Andalusia Star News by Christopher Smith. This year's statewide theme for reading programs at the public library is Libraries Rock. Readers of all ages will explore all things musical. Brooks and Smart will incorporate several books that have musical themes as well as a CD that will play along with the books. Each week we'll have a different genre of music to study, Brooks said. So one week we'll have blues and jazz, and another week we'll have classical music and bluegrass. Smart said that the summer is not only going to be about music, but about art in general. I think it's important that kids learn all of the arts, said Smart. We have tons of material for the kids, so I'm very excited. We have several arts and crafts for the kids, Brooks said, and on June 21st, they'll make their own musical instruments. Then on June 28th, they'll have several animals, and they're going to be able to interact with them and hear what sounds that the animals make. The Opp Public Library will have the same animals in on June 26th. The Andalusia Public Library will have a teenager summer program for reading as well, and that will teach teenagers how to write, record, edit, and finalize a music video. I think these summer reading programs are important because it keeps their minds active, said Smart, as opposed to them staying inside and playing in video games or watching TV all day. Registration for Libraries Rock at the Opp Public Library begins on May 24th, 2018, and is free of charge. There's no registration at the Andalusia Public Library. Here's another story. It's kind of a neat one. It's about a fellow up in Dozier, Alabama, Mr. Willie Smith, who's been banking up there in Dozier, or running the bank up there and in Crenshaw County for about 50 years. The Alabama Bankers Association President and CEO Scott Latham recently recognized First National Bank of Dozier's Willie Smith for his 50 years in banking. Smith, the president and CEO of the First National Bank of Dozier, was recognized as an official member of the Half Century Club with a 50-year service plaque. Latham said that the Half Century Club is a special group and that has a small number of members. Community banks seem to produce the most of these members, he said, probably due to their close personal relationships with the communities and the relationships those communities have with their local bankers. Smith began his career in February of 1968 at the Brantley Bank and Trust Company. He later moved to Dozier in 1982, where he began work at the First National Bank of Dozier. Through his 50-year tenure, he has served in various roles and was named president of the Dozier Bank in 1984. This is great what Mr. Smith says. Today it's all digital and computerized, but I could never imagine the service for customers not being the most important factor in banking. The First National Bank of Dozier was organized in 1910, making it one of the state's oldest banks at 108 years. Smith currently serves as the chairman of the Covington Electric Cooperative Board of Trustees and is also a member of the Power South Board of Trustees. He and his wife, June Layton Smith, have two daughters and a son-in-law, Jessica Smith Merriweather and husband John, and Jill Smith Carroll and husband Van. They also have three grandchildren, of which they're very proud. All of the grandchildren live in Birmingham. Now, we'll be back in just a minute with more news. Welcome back to Good News Covington County, Wednesday edition. Our next section is brought to you courtesy of Bauer Auto Parts, located at 304 East Cummins Avenue in Opp, Alabama. If you need auto parts in Opp, check with the best four-letter word in auto parts, NAPA, Napa, at Bauer Auto Parts. Call Jamie or Jackie or any of the other members of their crew at 334-493-4017. They're located right over there at 304 East Cummins Avenue in Opp. And they'll help you with your parts needs. In fact, if you got a heavy-duty parts you need, they can help you. If you have a hydraulic system problem, you need hoses, fittings, those kind of things, even fluid. They've got it in stock. That's Bauer Auto Parts in Opp, Alabama. Now, we got a kind of a great human interest story, and I know some of the family involved in here, and it's one of those things that just touches your heart. The pictures was present. In the Andalusia newspaper, the pictures were precious. Lacey Stinson wrote this article, and I think she must have enjoyed it a lot. We're going to read it directly. Earning a bachelor's degree took longer than Red Level High School graduate Mary Helen Thigpen planned. 75 years longer, to be exact. The 1943 valedictorian began her journey at the University of Alabama in the fall of 1944. During World War II, she hoped to be a clothing designer. Money for college ran out after a year of classes, Ms. Thigpen said. Not only that, but her father had also passed away. Luckily, Ms. Thigpen found a job at the Andalusia Employment Office. And while working there, she met her future husband, Mr. Duncan Thigpen. He came in to see about getting unemployment because he had just returned from the military, but he ended up just asking me for a date. The two married in 1948, and Miss Thigpen worked to support Duncan while he earned a degree in agriculture at Auburn University. They started a family and had 2 children. He got offered a job in Central Florida, and we moved down that way, Miss Thigpen said. That's when my children were a little older, and I told Duncan that he could work while I go back to school. In 1968, Miss Thigpen started attending Lake Sumter Junior College in Leesburg, Florida. In 1970, she graduated, and her son Jim started classes there. Then I started driving from Bushnell to Tampa just about every day, Miss Thigpen said. I was offered a job in 1973, and I was lacking 1 course to graduate. I wasn't too worried about it at the time. Thigpen was offered a job as a grant coordinator for the Sumter County Commissioners in Bushnell, Florida. As a grant coordinator, I learned quite a bit. I earned quite a bit of money for the county, Miss Thigpen said. Miss Thigpen secured more than $2 million in federal and state grants. If it weren't for her son and daughter, Miss Thigpen said she might have never gotten her degree. Her daughter, Julie Wells, wrote the University of South Florida, explaining her mother's story. The college replied and asked Thigpen to reapply so that they could begin the process. She received a letter on April 23rd, and the college requested that her degree be conferred. On Monday, May 7th, Thigpen's children held a small graduation at her home. And during the course of the ceremony, she received a diploma dated 1973. Miss Thigpen's children inherited their mother's appreciation of education. Wells is a retired elementary school teacher, and Thigpen is the associate dean at Pasco Hernando Community College in South Florida. In fact, they're actually in Spring Hill, Florida. Both earned master's degree. Thigpen is also a University of South Florida graduate, and he donned his academic regalia to present his mother with her diploma. And I know Julie, I've known her since undergraduate school. I'm not trying to rat out your age, Julie. You look much younger than we do. But she was a good student at Troy back when I was not. And I'm real proud for her mother. Here's another article on a 3rd grade reading project. 3rd graders at Strine Elementary School have been doing book reports in an innovative way thanks to an idea the school's 5 3rd grade teachers came up with. Again, this is an article by Christopher Smith from the Andalusia Star News. Each student had to pick her favorite book, type a book report, and decorate a t-shirt with different aspects of the book. Each report had to include the book's title, the author, the characters, a description of one character, the setting, a description of the setting, a summary of the book, and the student's favorite part and favorite quote, and his or her opinion about the book. That's all pretty adult. The students used Google Documents to learn how to type and format their papers. That's something we use around here And I think Jared's had to help me with that some. I know when I think of papers and Google Documents, I think of kind of like a dog. Jared's got a newspaper. He smacks me with it every once in a while when I get involved with. We decided to do this because we want to prepare them for book reports in the higher grades, said teacher Leah Grimes. The book report was also a way to pick different reading material for the summer, Grimes said. Catherine Kime did a book report on the Dork Diaries. Lauren Wood did her book report on the Land of Stories. And Owen Harrison did his book report on Minecraft, the island. Assistant Principal Barry Wood said that he was very interested in their book reports, and Grimes said that they would not have been possible without the help of teachers Kristen Rambo, Kimberly Studstill, Allison Eubanks, Krista Holly, and Shalia Smith. And that's our segment of news right now. We'll be back shortly with some more after these commercials. Hello, Covington County. Welcome to another section of Good News Covington County. Folks, I want to talk to you about something important. At least it's important to me. And that's good food. Have you tried the food at the Happy Kitchen located in Westgate Plaza on Martin Luther King? Well, if you haven't, you're missing a real treat. I eat there regularly, and you can tell by the looks of the things here that the food's pretty good. It's not only good, the portions are generous. And if you go and eat at lunch, the prices are just unbelievably good. They're open 6 days a week, and the Happy Kitchen is a resource from anything in the way of Asian food and hibachi to Mongolian beef or to beef and broccoli even. If you can't dine in, give them a call. They have a carry-out program. Just call them at 334-222-1398, and they'll be ready. The food will probably be ready when you get there. Those are mighty nice people over there. Now for some other local news, and an article written by Josh Dutton, who does a wonderful job for the Andalusia Star News, and it's just amazing to me how he gets as much done as he does. The Andalusia Bulldogs, in their battle to go to state and hopefully win a state championship in baseball, had a setback last night. They put up a fight and fell 6-3 to the Hopes Bluffs Eagles in the opening game of the Class 4A State Championship Series on Tuesday at Patterson Field in Montgomery. Jacob Cravey got the start on the mound, and Ethan Wilson reached off on an error to start the bottom of the first inning, and then Garrett Davis moved him over with a sacrifice bunt. The Bulldogs weren't able to move Wilson forward any further, and they left him and another fella stranded on base. Morgan got things going to start the bottom of the second inning and moved on to third on a double by J.W. Jones. Cravey helped himself out when he drove in C. Morgan and Jones with a single to put the Bulldogs up 2-0. In the top of the fourth inning, Cravey got the first batter to strike out before back-to-back hits and a walk that loaded the bases for Hopes Bluff. The next batter then lifted a sacrifice fly to Sebastian Stallworth in right field to cut the Andalusia lead down to 2-1. Craven got the first batter to strike out to start the top of the fifth inning before things took a turn for the worse. An error and then a wild pitch allowed Hopes Bluff to gain a 3-2 lead with 1 out left in the inning. The Eagles then got a pair of hits and jumped out front by 5-2. Wilson was hit by a pitch to start things off for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the sixth inning, and when they came around to score off a double from Davis. Davis, however, was thrown out trying to make it to third for the first out of the inning. Hopes Bluff added another run on a balk in the top of the seventh, and then held off the Bulldogs for a 6-3 game. That is only one game victory, though. They have to have, whoever wins will have to win 2 games versus their opponent. Andalusia coach Tyler Dent said they played better defense than we did. They pitched it better and they got the timely hits. They deserved to win this game and we didn't. we've got to come back tomorrow and focus and get our focus back up. This is why we're in a 3-game series and not a 1-game series. We will be fine, and I'll be proud of the way some of the guys competed. We have to be better in the field for sure. Andalusia committed 5 errors in the game. Andalusia and Hoax Bluff return to action for Game 2 this Wednesday, today, at 4 p.m. at Riverwalk Stadium. If necessary, Game 3 will be played 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 2. Let's hope that there is a Game 3. Also in sports news, and I love this story because I know the little girl and I know the family. Millie Manring signed a letter of intent to on Tuesday morning to continue her softball career with LBW Community College's Lady Saints. Manny's been a part of the Bulldogs softball and volleyball teams for the past several years, and she's an outstanding student, and if I remember right, she was also the homecoming queen at Andalusia. Now that's a well-rounded person there. In other news around the schools, the installation of the new artificial turf has begun at Andalusia High School Stadium. They started over the weekend and they've continued this week. The stadium is expected to be ready for the first home game in August. They were talking this time last week if it needed dry weather, but I think they've really gotten an awful lot of the work out of the way. We're going to take a break in just a minute, and we're going to be back. Welcome back to Good News Covington County. This ought to be maybe our last section. This is our final news, weather, and buzzard report, and fishing tables, and they're all brought to you by Anthony King and all the outfitters and guides at Fletcher's Outdoors in Andalusia. If you need expert advice on what's biting at the local lakes, ask the folks at Fletcher's. They'll not only tell you what's biting, they'll tell you what they're biting, and what they're being caught on. They've got all your hunting and fishing needs, including coolers and ice. Check with Fletcher's Outdoors, located at the corner of Martin Luther King Bypass and Brooklyn Road. Oh yeah, if you're hungry, Fletcher's has a breakfast buffet that's worth waking up early for. Now, yesterday, they had the Full Tummy Project's golf tournament out at the Andalusia Country Club, and we were worrying that they might have a rain out as this weather moved in. And folks, I can tell you, the blue skies are out there today, and they're almost purple, so we know we're going to have some more rain today. Despite the rain, the 4th annual Full Tummy Project golf tournament was a success. This according to Christopher Smith in the Andalusia Star-News. The event organizer, Katie King, said the group raised $11,000. King said that she's glad the weather held off because we usually base all of our budget right after this fundraiser because it's the biggest fundraiser we have. So we can plan ahead for the year, the next school year. The Covington County Full Tummy Project discreetly distributes easily served food items to children that might be at risk of hunger on the weekends. I'm so thankful that the businesses and individuals in this community have participated in this. They've been extremely generous, and I can't thank them enough. The golf tournament had 40 sponsors this year and 13 teams. Southeast Gas team went first place with an aggregate score of 54, while CCB Community Bank's team shot a 58 to secure second place. And Boggs and Boulder shot a 60 to win third. Mel Wright won the award for shooting closest to the hole, and Jordan Maynor won an award for the farthest drive. Now for today's buzzard report, coming to you from high atop the Covington County Courthouse. Our fearless raptor observer, Tonsillitis Brooks, reports there were as many as 12 buzzards seen earlier in the day. No doubt they were preparing themselves for the upcoming changing weather. Now for the Bassmaster Solenoid tables for Wednesday, May 16, 2018. Today ought to be another good day for local fishing. In fact, if our Solenoid tables are right, and they usually are, this will be the second best day for fishing in the entire month of May. The best time for fishing during the daylight hours is going to be from about right after lunch at 12:48 p.m. until 4:04 p.m. this afternoon. The best time for night fishing ought to be from right after midnight at about 12:20 a.m. to about 3:30 a.m. and that's going to be a pretty good place and time to go. Local weather from the National Weather Service and my friend Arthritis McDaniel says that the following will happen. We have a 50% chance of showers and rain, mostly cloudy with a high near 87, and calm wind becoming northwest around 5 miles an hour. New rainfall amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch, except higher possible amounts if there is a thunderstorm. Wednesday night, we got about a 30% chance of rain and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 68. East wind around 5 miles per hour, becoming calm. Thursday, we got a 50% chance of rain and showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny, with a high near 89. Calm wind becoming southwest around 5 miles an hour. And on Thursday night, we've got a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Again, it'll be mostly cloudy with a low around 68. Calm wind becoming south around 5 miles an hour. And that should be the most of the weather that we'll see down here until Friday morning. Folks, we appreciate you watching this with us today. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll ask you to do two things. Be kind to one another and shop local. See you tomorrow.